Hey NBA fans, what's up? It's Mike here. Now, not too long ago, ESPN released one of the just worst freaking lists any of us have ever seen in our life. It was atrocious from top to bottom. But among the many controversies on this list, one that kind of surprised me with how many people really got mad at was that Zion Williamson was ranked number 19 on the list. And when I initially saw the list, that was not one of the ones that really upset me. Now, well, we're going to get into my opinion on it in a minute, but considering the hype in the NBA for Zion, I really wasn't that surprised by the ranking. However, it seems most people were very angry that Zion was so high, specifically because he was over Paul George, who was ranked number 20 right behind him. So in this video, I really want to talk about Zion's potential for this upcoming season. Can he be a top 20 player in the NBA in his second year in the league? Because we saw Luka do it, and now we want to see if Zion can do it too. Alright, that is what we're going to talk about in the video today, so I hope you all enjoy. Now, last year, Zion Williamson, I'm sure you all know his numbers by heart because the NBA media never shuts up about him, but I'm going to read them off to you anyway. Alright, this man had 22.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. And he did those 22.5 points on 58% shooting, 43% from 3, and a not very good 64% from the free throw line. He also did this in only 28 minutes a game. So very, very impressive stats for a rookie. The free throw percentage was not great, and strongly leads me to believe that the 3-point percentage is not remotely, what is the word I'm looking for here? It's not going to be replicated this season, okay? He did that on half a 3-point attempt a game, alright, 0.6 every game. So, assuming the dude takes about 1 3-pointer a game this year, I expect him to shoot much closer to league average, because you look at the free throw percentage, and free throw percentage is generally a very good indicator of how good of a shooter a player actually is, and Zion's just not a good free throw shooter, so expect that free throw percentage to drop. His field goal percentage, however, 58%. I mean, we all saw it in the preseason game the other night. We've seen it throughout Zion's college career. We've seen it throughout the NBA. The man is amazing at attacking the basket and finishing around the rim. For all the amazing athleticism he has and his ability to bully people, he really has amazing touch around the rim. There are few players in the league who I think have a better touch when it comes to finishing around the rim. The dude's just really, really good at that. Obviously, I just repeated myself 7 times there, but I really want to emphasize, he's got great touch around the rim. Alright, the guy's a great finisher. Absolutely fantastic. He's got a little bit of a mid-range floater kind of deal. I expect to see more of that from him, because as good as he is at his size, he's just not always going to be able to get to the basket at will. I can't wait to see Zion match up with, Joel Embiid and see how he defends him. Alright, because I think some of the best defensive centers in the league can absolutely shut this man down, as of right now in his career. Now, for this upcoming season, what do we expect to see? Alright, I already said I expect his 3-point percentage to go down. However, I could see him shooting around league average from 3. I really could. Maybe even a tiny bit above, but, there's no way he's going to be some, great 3-point shooter next year. I just don't see it whatsoever. But if he can be a league average to slightly above average 3-point shooter, that's going to be huge for him on, 1 to 2 attempts a game. The big question with Zion, before we get into that, he is going to be a great rebounder, okay? I think he should be getting offensive rebounds. One thing that everyone keeps talking about his game and that you do not see in the stat sheet whatsoever is his passing. In college, we saw that he has very good vision, he's a good passer, however he only averaged 2 assists a game in 28 minutes. That's not great. I would expect that to go up to something like 3 assists, 3.5 assists this year. I think he's just going to take a few years. I think he does have the ability to be a very solid playmaker in the NBA. I just think it's going to take a little bit of time. In the NBA, everyone's bigger, they move faster, they're better at reading things. So it's just going to take him time to adjust to the NBA level and to really get good at making those passes. Alright, it's just it's not that he's a bad passer now, but the dude's never been like a proper playmaker for his team, so he's not just going to immediately come out and average like 5 assists a game. Although I think in his prime, he absolutely could be putting up 5 assists a game with his talent. Now, the biggest question with Zion after the bubble is his defense, okay? Because that, in my opinion, is what's going to hold Zion back if he does not end up being a top 20 player. This dude is an all-star level talent already. I fully expect him to make the all-star team next season. The real question for him being top 20 is his defense, because if he cannot be at least an average defender, and I think he absolutely can, then he's not going to be a top 20 player just yet. And we saw in the bubble, the man was atrocious in the bubble, and I don't give a crap. Some people have come out and said here that, like, oh, you look at the advanced stats, when Zion's on the floor, the Pelicans are actually, like, +3 on the defensive end, so clearly he's not that bad. Look, if you watch the games, okay, this is one of the greatest arguments I've seen for advanced stats. You can't just take them at face value. If you watch the games, you know Zion was a bad defender, okay? You saw this man just completely blowing it on defense. He was straight up awful on that end in the bubble. He looked out of shape, and I think that was a big part of the problem. The man just looked too dang tired. He needs to have slimmed down this offseason. Alright, we saw Nikola Jokic. Dude looks like he's lost like 30 pounds over the last year. We need Zion to do something similar. Obviously, he's always going to be a bigger dude, but he needs to lose a little bit of weight. I think he's very similar to Charles Barkley when he came into the league, where he needs to find his proper playing weight, where he's still going to be a bigger guy and he's going to be able to bully people, but he's just not going to be like looking like Big Baby Davis out here, like 350, okay? The man needs to not look like he's drinking Shirley Temples and eating McDonald's with Joel Embiid in the offseason. Alright, he needs to slim down, is what I'm saying here. Just a little bit, just enough so he can stay healthy, so he's not exhausted after 10 minutes of play, and so he's able to play defense. Because clearly, with the physical tools this dude has, he can be a fantastic defender, okay? He's bulky enough that I think he can be like a little bit better of a James Harden in the post, because everyone talks about James Harden being an underrated post defender. I think Zion can do the same thing. I think he can absolutely average a block and a steal a game with his athleticism, the way he can jump, and that he's got a pretty good basketball IQ. You know, if you're a good playmaker, you're also generally pretty good at reading the passing lanes. I think that a block and a steal a game for Zion is not too unreasonable. So, in conclusion here, because I've just been kind of rambling on, there's a whole lot of, what's the word I'm looking for here? A whole lot of guessing, a whole lot of unknowns. Maybe he can do this, maybe he won't. What do I actually think that Zion is going to do next season? Well, I would expect him to be about an average defender. I expect him to put up something around the area of 25 points, 7 to 8 rebounds, and about 3 assists, 3 to 3.5 assists. Alright, I expect him to do this on pretty much the same efficiency from the field, but definitely worse from 3. Alright, and on defense, I would expect something close to a steal and a block. I do think he's basically going to be in defense what he was pre-bubble last season, where he's average to maybe a tiny bit above average just because the highlights make him look better than he is, but he's still not, like, you don't want Zion getting switched onto a guard or an elite big man. Alright, he's going to be probably like an average defender. And is that player a top 20 player in the NBA right now? Honestly, I just don't know. I really don't. I'm hesitant to say I don't think he is. And the biggest reason that I don't think he is, I mean, first of all, the league is absurdly talented right now. But one of the big issues with him is his free throws. Okay, he shot 64% from the free throw line. Even if his three-pointers ends up being about average, I don't expect him to get up to like 70% from the free throw line. And if you shoot less than 70%, and trust me, I know, Sixers fan, gotta watch Ben Simmons brick every other free throw he shoots, you really hurt your team in the clutch because they're scared to play you. And also Zion, he's not going to be known as a three-point shooter. He's probably going to be tired at the end of games because I do expect him to not reach his perfect shape yet. I think if he stays healthy, he's a few years away from maintaining whatever his good playing shape is. I don't think he's going to get there in one offseason, especially not a short offseason like this one was. Zion's still going to be a little overweight. He's still going to be probably, even if it's not an official minutes restriction, I expect him to play less minutes than most players at least most players of his talent, I should say, just because the coach is going to know he's getting tired. And I think that's going to hold him back. I expect Zion to be somewhere much closer to between like the 25 and 30th best player in the NBA this season. It's possible for him to reach the top 20, no doubt, but I don't quite expect him to get there this year. That is my take. Now, if he ends up being better or worse, I'm not going to be super shocked, but that is my belief. I'm thinking somewhere around like 26th, 27th best player in the league for Zion Williamson this year. Very excited to see him play, though. Alright, NBA fans, that's all I had for the video today. We are so close to the preseason finally starting. I'm freaking excited. I know you all are, alright? Ready to see Zion play. I'm ready to see the Sixers freaking dominate. And I'm ready to see the Lakers inevitably win the title in like 6 games again. But we're not gonna think about that, okay? Sixers making the finals, that's what I'm hyped for. Doesn't matter who really wins, you know, as long as they make it there. Fucking Lakers. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And keep checking out content on my channel. Thank you for watching.